Good evening, groovy citizens, and happy Motivational Monday. I hope you all have had a wonderful day. My day has been great. It's actually been pretty nice today, I would say, compared to tomorrow when we're expecting cold and rain. Right now it's 46 degrees. And I am just now getting to my video because I just left the gym. So listen, you guys, if you all made resolutions or set a goal or whatever you want to call it to get back in the gym or to start exercising, y'all, let's get started. Let's not put it off. Now, I will admit, I went last Wednesday and I'm just getting back today, and that is because this sister girl was hurting so bad that the thought of going to the gym just was not even going to work for me. So I am back. Today is leg day, or was leg day, so I hit these legs real good. They're nice and sore, but you know what? It's all good because this too shall pass. So when I go back on Wednesday is back day, and Friday is upper body day. So you have to have a plan, you guys. You have a plan, stick with it, and you're going to see the results that you're looking for. So let's jump into this video before I lose any more daylight because it is already 4:30. And today's topic of conversation is never say yes to these types of people. So I'm going to be sharing, and y'all have to apologize up front because my sinuses are draining, 10 different types of people that you need to say no to. Okay? It might be hard, but you need to say no. And all of it, as usual, will be in the description box. So, number one, the drama magnet. Come on, somebody. Everybody knows a drama magnet. And so this person is always caught up in some type of emotional storm, and they seem to always pull you into their world of chaos. Every time you talk to them, it's like stepping into an emotional roller coaster. This roller coaster is always filled with sob stories. I know this man's dog better get up out of my yard. If I start seeing droppings, it's going to be on and popping. But I digress. Where'd I leave off? Always filled with sob stories and petty back and forth foolishness. This person isn't evil, but they always seem to suck the life out of everything and everyone when they walk into a room. Let me put a pin right there. We all have known or know somebody who is like this. Just them stepping into the room, it just sucks the life out of everything. I mean, every single thing. And it's really sad because they're not necessarily mean and evil people. They just drain you dry emotionally. And you sometimes you see them coming and you want to hide, like, oh God, here comes so-and-so, and you're hiding behind a wall like they can't really see you. But you just don't want to be bothered. And so the drama magnet will end up, turning you into their therapist if you aren't careful. Let me say that again. A drama magnet will end up turning us into their therapist if we're not careful. Helping friends is great, but when it begins to mess with your well-being, you must set boundaries and not feel bad about doing so. So again, the takeaway from all that is when you have drama magnets and every time you see them, there's always something going on, always somebody doing something to them, don't want to see them move ahead, whatever the case may be. And like I said, their mere presence just drains your energy. You've got to tell them no. You've got to tell them no. You know what? I really would love to entertain you today, sweetie, but I really can't. I just can't. And you can be honest. You can be honest and say, and you know what? Here's the thing. Just be honest and let them know that whenever we talk, you drain me emotionally. And I've got to look out for my own well-being. So you're going to have to learn how to figure out some of that stuff yourself, or you're going to have to go and seek a therapist. Okay. Number two, the energy vampire. These are people who just suck the positivity out of a room. How do you spot these people? Well, they are the people who always seem to bring the gloom, complain about everything, and generally make you feel like you've stepped into a rainstorm. In order to deal with them, you must, I'm going to give you two two things. Number one, set boundaries. Actually, with all these people that I'm going to talk about today, you've got to set boundaries. Politely distance yourself when they start their drama show. You've got to set boundaries and you've got to stick to them. I know. Trust me when I tell you, I know it's hard because you don't like to see people hurting and you try to help folks. But if you don't set boundaries, these people will drain you dry. And then you've helped them, so they're going to skip off all fat, dumb, and happy. And then you sitting up there feeling like a hot mess. And number two, focus on positive vibes. Surround yourself with people who lift you up and not drag you down. Okay. Number three, the envious leech. If you've ever met someone who just can't be happy about your successes, well, that's an envious leech. And everybody knows somebody like that. It's not that they can't be happy for you. It's more like they don't want to be happy for you. Isn't that sad? I mean, isn't that truly, truly sad? It's not that they can't be happy for other people. They don't want to be happy for other people. They're only happy when good things are happening to them and for them. But if it's happening to somebody else, yeah, okay, whatever. Well, let me tell you about the time that I did ABCXYZ. And it's like, okay, but they just share good news. Why can't you cheer them on? Especially when they're going to cheer you on when you share your good news. Come on now. I'm thankful that I don't know people. I don't associate. I've known people like that, but I don't associate with them. Okay. They are very competitive and they always want to win. Always surround yourself with people that cheer you on and not put you down. Number four, the constant critic. This person has to always point out what's wrong and can never acknowledge what's right or good. Again, everybody knows somebody like that. And y'all, I'm apologize too. My stomach is growling. When I tell you this sister girl's hungry, trust me, I am hungry. So I do apologize if you can hear it. Non-stop criticism is like having someone around who always thinks the grass is only half empty. The glass, I'm sorry, not grass, is only half empty. This person is always telling you that what you're doing isn't good enough. And this can hinder your personal growth. The reason is because constant criticism will mess with your confidence and have you doubting yourself and your abilities. How do you deal with these people, you ask? First of all, let me backtrack a few sentences. These people can only mess with your confidence if you allow them to. Let me tell you something. I feel confident about Michelle. I certainly do. On a scale of 1 to 10, my confidence level is at a 20. I feel confident about me. So the criticism that you're giving, I look at the source. I consider the source. I consider the source, where it's coming from. And I know in my mind, you know what? This is coming from somebody that always wants to win and don't want anybody else to win. So I'm not worried about that at all. So it's not going to bother me. But there are people that do have a hard time getting past people that do this, and it does mess with their confidence, unfortunately. So this is how you deal with those people. Number one, you let them know you appreciate getting feedback, but if it's not constructive, come on somebody, they can keep it to themselves. And you have my permission to do it. You tell that person, again, that's that negative Nancy that's always got something negative to say. Well, you know what? Your event was great, but I would have done this and I would have done that. And I probably wouldn't have done that or the other. Okay, that's fine. See, but that's not constant criticism. That's not constructive. Lord, I can't talk today. That's not constructive criticism. That's just somebody that wants to find fault with everything. And so in that case, it's all right to say, I appreciate getting feedback, but if it's not constructive, you can keep it to yourself. Now, constructive criticism says, Michelle, you know what? That event that you did was wonderful. But the next time, you may want to make sure you have someone out front checking the folks in as they come in to make sure only the people that registered are getting a seat at the table, so you don't have a couple of people who don't have a seat because a couple of folks showed up that didn't register and you have no idea who they are. That's constructive criticism. Or to say, the next time you do that event, it was gorgeous, but I would probably do it inside just because, you never know what the weather's going to be like or how many mosquitoes are going to be out or whatever the case may be. That's constructive. But when somebody just wants to pick apart everything you did, from the look of the things to the way the event went, that's not constructive. And those people are doing nothing but trying to tear you down. And then 2, focus on the positive. When they bring up anything negative, focus only on the positive. And number 3, don't let them get under your skin. Okay? Do not let these people get under your skin. Now, for me, when I say get under your skin, I'm talking about you pissing me off, and I'm going to have to address it. And it's not going to be nice when it comes out. But I need you not to let these people get under your skin, because if you're not careful, you will allow these people to have you second-guessing yourself, second-guessing your abilities. And your abilities are just fine. They just didn't like what you did because they didn't do it. And to be honest with you, no matter what you did, it still wouldn't have been good enough for them because they didn't do it. So they have to find fault with something, even when everything was perfect. So remember this, their constant criticism is more about them and less about you. Okay? They're people that constantly criticize other. It's more about them. And it really has nothing to do with you. Or even if it did, it's very little, very minuscule. But it has most of what they're complaining about has to do with them. Number 5, the never-ending procrastinator. This person is always running on a tight schedule, forgetting deadlines, and making everything they do an emergency. This type of person can become a huge headache for you. You begin to feel like you're stuck in a whirlwind of stress over deadlines that aren't even yours. Isn't that sad? They seem to always need you to do something right now, when they knew about that thing needing to be done a while ago. They don't value you or your time. Keep that in mind now. And they don't care that they are wasting your time, which is, excuse me, y'all, my nose is running. Dang, I don't have no tissue. Which is time you can never get back. The never-ending procrastinator doesn't care, and they don't mind turning your peaceful day into a chaotic mess. So how do you deal with this type of person? Well, you must let them know that poor planning on their part means that you are going to change. Poor planning on their part doesn't mean that you're going to change your plans. And I'm serious. Square your shoulders, lift your chest, and you look them in the eye and you say, poor planning on your part doesn't mean that I'm going to change my plans, because I already have plans to do something else. Also, let them know that they need to manage their time better, because that's really what it boils down to. You have to make them respect you and your time. Please do not overlook that. You have got to make people respect you and your time. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you don't, they will continue to run over top of you. Number 6, the unreliable companion. And this person often cancels plans at the last minute. This is why you need people in your life that you can rely on and that will stick to their word. Life is way too short to spend it with people that don't value you or your time. Number 7, the needy clinger. This person needs you around all the time, and they need to know if you two are still cool all the time. They act like they can't survive without you. They seem to always need your attention and approval. The needy clinger demands your attention 24/7, and they need you to assure them everything is okay with the friendship or relationship every step of the way. Typically, they are good people, but their constant need for reassurance is a bit much. Everybody has met somebody like that. Maybe not to that extent, but you met somebody like that. So after being around these people leaves you emotionally drained. They rely on you to fill up their emotional cup, and it can be a lot to deal with. So I'm telling you right now, if you don't want to lose your mind, then I would suggest, y'all, excuse me, that you make it a point to cut those people out of your life. I'm not saying you have to unfriend them. I'm just saying you need to limit, and excuse me, you guys, you need to limit the time that you spend around those people because they're draining. I don't know about you, but I don't do draining. I can't do draining. I don't do well with draining because it'll make me go off, and you'll end up seeing a side of me that most people never ever get a chance to see. So that kind of person, keep them at arm's length. What did I just say? Keep them at arm's length. You can love them. You can pray for them. You can pray for them. Y'all might even go out and share a meal together, but you cannot have them in constant contact with you every single day because they are so draining. Number 8, the manipulator. These people always have a hidden agenda and always try to control every situation without being honest. Come on now, and upfront about it. Yes, that's a manipulator. So dealing with the manipulator is like trying to navigate through a maze where the walls keep shifting. These people play mind games, trying to get you to do what they want you to do without being honest about it. Let me put a pin right there, because that's something I can't stand. If it's something that you know you want me to do, be honest and just say that. Give me the opportunity to say no, because eventually I'm going to figure it out. But don't play these games just to get me to do what you want me to do. Be upfront about it. And if you're not upfront about it, that tells me a lot. That tells me that you know I'm going to say no. And that's why you're not being honest to tell me what it is that you want. They oftentimes will use tactics such as guilt tripping you, or giving you the silent treatment. Stoics always believe in integrity and being straightforward. Why should you care? Will become, what did I just write? Well, because dealing with a manipulator can mess with your sense of integrity. Saying no to a manipulator doesn't mean that you're mean or selfish. It's about protecting your own integrity and mental well-being. So a manipulator thinks, well, if I cut you off and I don't speak to you, then it's going to make you call and say, hey, are we good? Did I do something wrong? What can I do to make things right? I am not. If you decide to give me the silent treatment, well, may the Lord add a blessing unto you, because I'm not going to hunt you down. I really am not, because guess what? You're going to come back around eventually. I'm not playing that game with you. Go manipulate somebody else, but you won't manipulate me. In my younger years, maybe, but now, Number 9, the nonstop talker. This person seems to always dominate every conversation. Dialogue should be a two-way street, but with them, it's like having a solo conversation, and you wonder when you'll get a chance to talk. So if you know someone like that, it's all right to say, you know what, hold on, do me a favor, can I just say this, because I've been trying to say this for a while. And it seems like every time I start talking, you start talking. But you know what we do? We stop talking, and we just sit back and we just listen. And we're like, okay. And to be honest with you, half the time you've tuned them out. But you're just letting them talk. Before you know it, you haven't gotten a word in edgewise. So if you don't, again, set boundaries, that person will always take over. And you'll always find yourself listening and never getting out what you need to say. Because when you're not able to say what you need to say, you're not able to tell them, look, what you're doing is, I'm not liking it. And if it doesn't change, you're going to have to go find you somebody else to talk to. Number 10, last but not least, the ungrateful recipient. You do something nice for this person, but they never seem to appreciate what you do or even say thank you. The Stoics always believed in gratitude, which is like saying thank you and showing people you appreciate what they do for you. Saying thank you makes both the giver and receiver feel good, and it really does. Surrounding yourself with gratitude makes everything brighter. Always remember, happiness grows best in the soil of gratitude. Saying no isn't selfish. It doesn't. Saying no isn't selfish. It's about protecting your energy, your boundaries, and your sanity. Okay? So when you have somebody that's ungrateful, it's all right to say no. You do something for Susie, she doesn't say thank you, and then has the gall to come back a week later and ask you for help again. It's all right to say no. And you can be honest about it. You don't have to make up a story. Well, you know, I would, but I don't have the money. Or I would, but I don't have the time. Don't tell that tale. Be honest with them and say, you know what, Susie, I would love to be able to help you. However, a week ago, I helped you and you didn't even take the time to say thank you. You didn't even acknowledge what I had done. And you come back a week later and you ask me for help again? I think not. Or if this has gone on for a while, it's all right to say no. And the reason why I'm not going to do it is because, and you go down the list. Now, you may not want to, because I get it. Everybody doesn't feel comfortable doing that. I don't have a problem with it, but I know everybody doesn't feel comfortable. So it's all right just to say, you know what, I can't. And honestly, I really need to get going. Look at your watch for emphasis and keep it moving. And then if they push the envelope and want to keep asking, well, why can't you? You know, you've done it before. I really need you. You know how people get. That's when you can say, you know what, I just need a few minutes of your time. Let me tell you why I'm not going to do it. And then be honest with them and say, it's not that I can't, but I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to do it. And again, go down the laundry list. Because if you don't teach people how to treat you, they will treat you any way they see fit. And this is what we're not doing. This is 2024, you guys. We're not going into this new year with them same old bad habits from 2023, 2022, 21, 2019, 18, and so forth and so on. It's time to change. It's time that you make people respect you and your time. Now, your takeaway. If someone asks for something that doesn't feel right, remember, a kind but firm no can be the most empowering word in your vocabulary. Come on, somebody. Can I say that one more time? If someone asks for something that doesn't feel right, meaning you don't feel right doing it, remember, a kind but firm no can be the most empowering word in your vocabulary. And I promise you, you're going to walk away inside and you're gonna be smiling and you're gonna say, you know what, that felt real good. That felt real good to say no. Again, you don't owe anybody anything, so stop doing things for people knowing that they don't appreciate you, knowing that they are any one of the types of people that I just named today. It's all right to say no. I mean, what are they gonna do, beat you up? You fight back, be it physically or verbally. You fight back and protect yourself. But it's all right to say no. I'm going to tell you, I got into the habit last year of saying no to things that I normally would have said yes to. But I said, you know what, Michelle, it's time that you start saying no. Let somebody else do the work. You shouldn't have to always do things because nobody else will step forward. It's all right to say no. So I'm giving you the permission, in case you didn't think you could, that it's all right to say no. And you can say it with a smile and keep it moving. And guess what? If those people dislike you, they don't want to be bothered with you, it's their loss. It's not yours. It is not your loss. Honey, let them go on about their business. Who cares? Who cares? Anyway, that's it. That's all, you guys, because I needed to go in here, jump in the shower, get me something to eat, because I now have 2 hours before my 7 o'clock Zoom call, and which I'm going to tell you all about I didn't have time to do it today, or I didn't think about it. But we have a session called Let's Just Talk. And I'm sitting on the session because I'm a part of our counseling ministry at my church. And I'm sitting in tonight just because I want to see how these sessions go. So February, I'll be leading that session. And so I'm really excited about it. And like I said, it's just for people to come on and just talk about anything and everything, whatever's on your heart, to talk about. And so I'm super, super excited about that because I'd like to incorporate some of that into my coaching business and put it out there for people to register. Of course, it would be free to just, come on a Zoom call and let's just talk. Let's just talk about what's going on in our lives. And you never know how something that you're going through, somebody else may be experiencing it and can help you with your issue because they've been through it. A lot of things I can coach you through as a life coach, but if I've not experienced it, I don't quite understand it the way you do. The way you do. I've never had a miscarriage, so I can't coach you through that. I've never been divorced, so I can't coach you through that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So there's some things that I can use common sense, of course, to help you help yourself. But a lot of times, if you're talking with people that have been through what you're going through, it makes things so much easier. Okay, so having said that, that's it. That's all. Hopefully something I said resonates with you and helps you with dealing with people as you go forward. Like I said, all of us, we know somebody that fits the bill for one of these groups that I've shared, if not all. Okay, even if you don't associate with them now, you have before and you might in the future. So now you can be prepared to deal with them. So, having said that, you need to watch my videos. I want to say welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I do car conversations every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Normally a little earlier in the day, but, the day got away from me. And if this is not your first rodeo, I want to say welcome back. Y'all know I miss you and I don't get a chance to see you. No matter where you go, no matter what you do, I want you to do so safely and have fun. Have fun and be safe, okay? Love you all to the moon and back. You know my drill, you know my spiel. There's nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing that you could ever do about it because I'm always going to love you. My job is to encourage you, to motivate you, and that's exactly what I'm going to do, and to love you. And that's exactly what I'm going to do no matter what. Love you all. We'll talk again on Wednesday.